Toronto Blue Jays GM Ross Atkins has a plan to fix this Blue Jays starting rotation. We all know the conversation around the Blue Jays has been, how are they going to get a fifth starter in that rotation? And even though Trevor Richards and Bowden Francis had a pretty good bullpen day the other night, we all know that's not going to last forever when you're continuously taxing the bullpen. But thankfully, Ross Atkins did speak to the media on how he plans to handle this pitching staff moving forward. What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to assess Ross Atkins' recent comments and map out the possible routes that the Blue Jays could take this starting rotation. Keegan Matheson tweeted this about Ross Atkins' recent media appearance in regards to this upcoming trade deadline. Ross Atkins said the obvious area would be adding a starting pitcher. We need to balance that with the progress of Alek Manoah and Hyun-Jin Ryu. The huge thing to pull from this is that, yes, the general manager sees the big problem. We need starting pitching, woohoo! But when he brings up balancing the progress of Alek Manoah and Hyun-Jin Ryu, this got me thinking about a couple scenarios that the Blue Jays could find themselves in the second half of the season. The first scenario is only Hyun-Jin Ryu is added back to the staff. In this scenario, we would have Hyun-Jin Ryu back, great, but no Alek Manoah and no trade deadline starting pitcher added either. Now, quite frankly, this would be the worst situation because you're basically banking on a bounce back performance from Hyun-Jin Ryu to give you some quality innings, and he hasn't pitched in the major leagues in over a year, and even then, he was still struggling after the sticky ban in 2021. Also, you would not be addressing any of the depth issues in that starting rotation, so we're still one injury or one big underperformance away to being in the exact same situation we were in before. So now time for scenario number 2. Blue Jays add Hyun-Jin Ryu and a trade deadline starting pitcher. Now, I do think this is the most probable scenario and the best scenario for the Toronto Blue Jays. There are a ton of quality arms on the market for this trade deadline that are on one-year deals that we could use as rentals for this postseason. And one starting pitcher that I believe is right up the Blue Jays' alley is Jordan Montgomery from the St. Louis Cardinals. He is a solid 3.52 ERA with a whip of 1.27 and doesn't walk a whole lot of batters either. His walk percentage is in the 85th percentile. He isn't the top target, but he is certainly in that next tier. He would be a lot cheaper option for the Blue Jays considering our weak prospect pool right now. And once you add Jordan Montgomery, it doesn't matter how well Hyun-Jin Ryu does. He can operate as a sixth man out of that rotation. We've seen time and time again major league clubs use a six-man option down the stretch to give some of their other starters a day off. And we all know how much better our pitchers play with an extra day of rest. Now, if we do miss out on a trade deadline starting pitcher, we could see scenario number 3. Time for a quick shout out to Betway. Betway is the best place to make all of your sports bets on all of your favorite teams. Betway is also in collaboration with iGaming Ontario. Must be 19 years older to participate. And guys, please bet responsibly. Now, back to the content. Hyun-Jin Ryu and Alek Manoah. Both Ryu and Alek Manoah at this point would be considered wild cards in that 5th and 6th part of the rotation. And that's a lot of unknown for a team who wants to make a deep run at the postseason. The Blue Jays need to avoid this scenario by picking up a starting pitcher at the trade deadline so that you can feel much more comfortable keeping Alek Manoah down in the minor leagues to figure out whatever is going on with him. Because I don't want to see a scenario where we panic and bring him up way too early. Let's hope that we can avoid that altogether. But guys, let me know in the comments down below, what scenario do you think is most likely? And as always, guys, go Jays go!